Our next guest had 34 saves for your Philadelphia Phillies in both the 1996 and 1997 seasons. He was a National League All-Star in 1996 as part of a 12-year Major League career. He can be heard on the airways as co-host of Unfiltered with Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo on 97.5 The Fanatic every weekday afternoon in Philadelphia. And you can see him as an analyst on Phillies pregame live and Phillies postgame live, appearing before and after the Phillies broadcast on NBC Sports Philadelphia, which we do receive here in this area. Joining Gabe Sinicropi, please welcome former Phillies relief pitcher and All-Star Ricky Bottalico.
Well, my friend, as was the case for much of your career, you're the closer tonight. Thanks for being with us.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Shout out to our friend Scott Masteller, who's here tonight. Williamsport area native.
Up.
Where is he? Scott, where are you at? There he is, over in the corner. Scott is your boss at the Fanatic.
Yep.
He's the program director. What's he like?
He's good. I mean, he pays attention to everything, though.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, I'd rather be like, somewhere where, you know what, you're not going to pay attention to me. I could sneak, take a nap somewhere, but not my job.
In preparing for tonight's event, I did learn a couple of things about you that I did not know. Number one, you were a catcher coming up and in college.
Yeah.
How did you become a pitcher?
Accident.
Okay.
No, I'm dead serious. In college, I was an all-state catcher in high school. I went to Central Connecticut State University, and we were, you play these games where you go on trips during the weekends. You play the 3-game series against your conference, and during the week we'll play games. Well, on this week we had midterms coming up, so if you had a midterm on either side of it, you couldn't go to the game. So we were short pitchers. I was catching in the game. My best friend on the team, Todd Martin, got hurt. Blew out his elbow, Tommy John surgery. So we're in like the third inning, I guess it was, and we're looking around. We only have like one other pitcher, and he's a short reliever. So I'm like, I'll pitch. We had 3 other catchers, so I pitched, and I struck out 12 in a row. So that was the end of my catching, which kind of sucked because I like to hit.
How about it? You were undrafted.
Yep.
In the 1991 draft, signed as the Phillies as an undrafted free agent. How did that come about?
At the end of my junior year of college, I figured, you know what, I'll just go play summer ball. And literally, I was playing in a beer league. And halfway through the beer league, I was told I was going to go to the Cape Cod League. So now it was kind of an upgrade there.
Yeah,
Then the Philly scouts got a hold of something that the Oakland A's were going to come see me pitch. So they came like a day early to see me pitch. So I pitched in that game. 2 days later, they said they're going to send their main guy, can you pitch on Thursday? And I remember it was a Thursday night. I pitch in the first game. It starts pouring rain. They signed me in the backseat of a car. Boom, I was out of there.
How about it? And
yeah.
Signed out of a beer league in the Cape Cod League 3 years later.
Well, I wasn't in the Cape Cod League. I was either going Cape Cod, but the Phillies signed me, so I went to the minor leagues.
Out of the beer league.
Yeah.
3 years later, you were in the major leagues.
Yeah, it was kind of odd because I went from literally a nobody. I mean, they're basically filling space, putting me into Martinsville, Virginia, their rookie league team. And next thing I know, I pitched one game, and, back then it was Baseball America was everywhere, and they had the prospects. I look at my first issue that I'm on the team, and I'm in there already. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I went to a number 2 prospect in a week. I mean, I couldn't get drafted, and now I'm their number 2 prospect, which I thought was a pretty good accomplishment at that.
34 saves for the Phillies, both 96 and 97. 96 National League All-Star in a year that the All-Star game was in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. You had the hometown crowd behind you.
Yeah.
What do you remember from that incredible experience?
It was mind-boggling. And the strange part of the whole situation is you got to understand we don't get a ton of tickets. Now I'm from Connecticut, so everybody was coming down. I had to get like 40 tickets. I'll never forget. And it's only my second year. It's not like I got a ton of money, but I had to go. By the way, wait a minute. Nowadays they would have a ton of money after their second year. Back then it wasn't like that. But I mean, I was like, I got to find tickets. I got to ask my teammates. I got to ask everybody. Ended up getting enough tickets, bringing everybody down. Then I literally went and stayed in the team hotel at the time, and my parents and everybody else took my place, so I was out of a home It was nerve-wracking. The other thing is I ended up doing This Week in Baseball. I ended up putting on all the mics and was loaded up for This Week in Baseball for the Home Run Derby. So it was pretty cool. I mean, it was interesting. But the coolest thing was I'll never forget walking out of the bullpen, and in the vet there was a wall that kind of got shorter as you walked towards first base. And I came walking out, and I could see everybody like standing up as I walked in. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome experience. Congratulations. Let's talk about August 2nd, 1998. Playing the Giants. Giants are up by 7 runs.
Yep.
Barry Bonds on first base. He steals second.
Yep.
They were up 7 at the time. The next time Bonds comes to the plate, Terry Francona brings you in to pitch, and here's what happened.
Oh.
The wind-up and the pitch, and I'm hitting Barry Bonds, and here we go.
And now I'm dead.
How about that? All right.
Let me just start by saying he's huge. By the way, you guys see Dom? Dom is big. Barry Bonds was huge. He got on top of me. I was like, oh, my God. There's no way I'm taking this guy down.
Obviously, there was some payback there involved for what Bonds did. So what happened? Did Francona bring you in?
Wasn't my job. It wasn't supposed to be my job. I had just come off of elbow surgery, and you're saying this guy just came off of elbow surgery and he's starting to fight. But I pitched the night before because they were trying to spread me out so I could get some innings in and get back to normal. But I pitched 2 2/3 innings the night before. Obviously, that was a day game. And in the paper that morning, it said that I will not be pitching doctor's orders for 2 to 3 days. So it was like, okay, we know why he's coming in now. But in the beginning, they called, I don't know if you ever heard of Jerry Spradlin. Big, tall guy, threw hard. They told him to go and do it. Well, Jerry decided to warm all the way up. And then there was 2 outs in the inning and said he's not doing it. That's why I ended up having to do it. I didn't have spikes on down there. I had no glove. Kurt Schilling brought all that down for me. I threw 1 pitch in the bullpen, 1 pitch. I mean, you guys have all been to games. Have you ever seen a pitcher go in and warm up and throw 1 pitch and they throw it down to second base? But there was a lot to it. I got in a lot of trouble. I had a big fine, a lot of trouble, suspension, everything.
I want to roll the tape again, though, because it looks like you're going to throw your mitt at him, or your glove, I should say. There's the pitch, and
I was told
I
was told not to punch anybody with my right arm, so they said just throw your glove at his face and try to tackle him. And I kind of thought that would be the wimpy way out, so I don't know, I got sacked.
All right, well, now you know the rest of the story on that. Anything happened in that scrum that we can't see?
My face was burnt. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever been to the vet. I mean, the turf was about this thin. I believe it was close to 100 degrees that day, about 120 on the turf. I could literally smell my skin burning. It was disgusting. It really was. But you know who was throwing punches was Kurt Schilling.
Sounds about right.
Well, I mean, I'm on the bottom of the pile, and you can't really see, but you could see people's arms kind of coming down towards everybody. Kurt was probably trying to punch me. So I don't. But here's a great part about this, because they tell you when you're on there to clench your fist so you don't get spiked. Dom, there's metal spikes everywhere. You clench your fist, and you kind of look for daylight. So I find daylight, and who's there? Tim, you brought up his name, Jeff Kent. Spanks me on the ass. He says, "Nice job. Get on the other side." Not a joke. He didn't like Barry Bonds. Yeah, it was no joke.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. How about that?
Yep.
Wow, that's great. Do you remember the first time you were booed at home?
Yeah.
Tell us.
All right. Eric Karros hit a solo home run off me. That was the first home run I gave up in my career, and it was literally about 20 appearances in. First pitch fastball, he hits it out dead center, and then just raining boos. and by the way, I probably had like a 1 ERA at that time.
Philly
I was
fans
pitching
are
well.
unforgiving.
Yeah, but I don't care. As long as, you know what? The one thing about being a Philly, you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror. You can't look yourself. By the way, now I get to rip on them. So what do I care?
Yes, you do. We'll get to that. I've always been interested in guys in the bullpen and shenanigans out there. What are some things that you guys did to keep yourself entertained? And let's do the PG stuff.
It's got to be PG?
Yeah, well, you know, well.
Well, there was a good one. There was a good one. I was with the Royals, and we were in, I don't know, what's the name of the park in Chicago? Not Wrigley. Is it Comiskey? Whatever it was.
Comiskey, yeah.
Whatever it was. Well, in their bullpen was a bar area, but it had glass. So you could see into the bar. They could see out, and they could watch you pitch. Well, we were getting flashed pretty good. It was pretty.
How about that?
Yeah, I mean that was whenever you went into that stadium and warmed up, they would do it to you every time. Every time. Well, they're all drunk in the bar. Of course, they're going to do something.
How about it?
But I mean, for the most part, you know what? We would play stupid games for money usually. Like we'd be at Shea Stadium and guessing what airline's coming by next for $10. I mean, it was just dumb things like that. Sunflower seeds was always a big thing.
What was there a big prankster on the Phillies when you were there?
Prankster's kind of a weird word. You know who was a weird cat that was a good guy was Pat Burrell. Like Pat, I know what everybody thinks of Pat. That Pat went out and got all the girls. Yeah, we get it. But he was kind of a trip because he would tell all his stories when he would come in. So every day he'd have a different story for what city we were in and whatnot. And could I go?
Well,
rated
I'm
R
just
again?
Sitting here.
We're in San Francisco, and Pat's like, "It's our first night in my first night in San Francisco. You guys gonna take me out for dinner?" So it was myself, Dave Hollins, Todd Pratt, and we said, "All right, we'll go out." We went out to like a steakhouse. After the steakhouse, he's like, "No, we can't stop now. We have to go to a strip joint." Yeah. So we get a table like this in a strip joint. So there's 3 beers on the table. So it's me, Pratt, and Dave Hollins. We don't know where Pat is. And this is not a joke. We don't know where Pat is. Pat comes walking out with no clothes on. I'm dead serious. In the middle of the place, no clothes on, says, "I ran out of money, guys. I need money." Can you imagine that?
I can't imagine that. No,
I'm not kidding you either.
So, as a baseball card collector, I was going through my Ricky Bottalico card collection, and I came across this baseball card. Okay, dude, what were you thinking? What's the story behind that image?
It's pretty pathetic because I don't have like big biceps or anything. Here's what happens, and you're in spring training, and you're with your group. So our group was always our bullpen. So you go into rooms like this with a backdrop, and you just kind of mess around with the guys. And I literally, after he took that picture, I said, "Do not put that out there." And look at what he puts out. Come on. No, you're just messing around. And I mean, I got some weird ones. I got one where I'm in the snow. I mean, literally standing in the snow. The guy's like, "Hey, can you?" It was a prospect card, and I was out in Connecticut. It was like 20 degrees out. I'm freezing in a Phillies jersey, and he's taking pictures of me in the snow. I'm like, "You're not going to use these," and he ended up using them.
Of course.
Yeah, so there's nothing much behind that except for the guy was kind of a jerk for using it.
How about it? Let's talk a little bit about Ricky Bo, the media personality. Phillies pre- and post-game show, daily radio show, known for not holding back your opinions. Do you ever get any flack from players?
Dom?
Any flack from Dom?
I'm sure I do. I mean, there's a big difference. Even from when Dom played, there's a big difference of what the clubhouse personality is. Like, they're in their own world now. Like, literally, after the game, you know, if you go into a clubhouse, I was talking to Tim Kirkchin earlier, you get like 35 minutes, 40 minutes in there, and then you got to get out. So it's not like it used to be. We used to have to stand in front of our lockers after the game and take questions. I mean, number one thing I absolutely will not do is get personal with the players. If you do something stupid on the field, yeah, I'm going to say something because I'm not trying to fool the fans either. The fans are no dummies. They're watching the games at home. So if I'm mad at something, and you got to understand, I'm getting reaction as we're watching the game, we're sitting. I don't sit by myself and watch the games. Sometimes I'm over at the stadium. Other times I'm in the newsroom, and you hear the reactions, and you know, like I could turn around and I'd know something dumb was going on in the field. But I mean, you have to point those things out, because if you don't, then you're a fraud.
Let's get some of those opinions that you put out there. How about the Phillies offseason so far?
Oh, I thought you were actually going to quote me.
No. I'll let
I
you off
did.
the
I
hook.
thought the Phillies offseason has been boring as hell. I mean, I guess they're going to try to sell to you that they fixed their bullpen, which didn't really need fixing. They didn't lose the playoffs because of their bullpen. They lost because the big bats went quiet in the playoffs. I mean, this has been now 3 years in a row, and I blame it all on the Diamondbacks. You know, that series against the Diamondbacks, all they had to do was come home and win one game, actually, out of their last two. They end up getting swept, and ever since then, it's kind of been a downward spiral for them in the playoffs. Look, are they a good team? Yeah, they're a good team. They're probably going to win mid-90 games again this year. The good chance they're going to win the NL East. But, I mean, the problem is they haven't changed anything. I think this Bo Bichette thing would have been perfect. I mean, and I was looking at, like, in the eyes of Rob Thompson, he would have had 1, 2, 3, 4 would have been interchangeable. This would have been the first year that you legitimately could have said, hey, Kyle Schwarber's going to bat cleanup, because there's a very good chance with 200-300 hitters and Bryce Harper in front of him, somebody's going to get on base in the first inning. So, I mean, you could look at it any way you want. They had to sign Kyle Schwarber. I would hope they would have signed JT Realmuto anyways, regardless of what happened to I keep calling him Dante. with
dad.
Bo Bichette, but I mean, and it's interesting because I may be wrong in this thought, because this is a thought of mine, is that Bo Bichette took that contract because he doesn't think they're going to play next year.
Interesting.
Well, what would you do? If it's $42 million in your first year, then you have an out after the first year and an out after the second year, and instead of $28 million, you'd probably take it too, knowing that you could go right back out and be a free agent again.
Me, I'd take, $500,000, I mean.
You'd be in the minor leagues then, because they make like $750 in the bigs now.
On your show this week,
Uh-oh.
you asked listeners what was more disappointing, the Eagles' season or the Phillies' off-season. What's your take on that?
I think I said the Eagles, if I'm not wrong, because I mean that was a team that you're going in against the 49ers. I got fooled though. I don't know how anybody else felt, but I'm watching the Eagles and I'm thinking to myself that week, okay, the offense has pedigree. They've been there, they've done it before. They went to the Super Bowl, they won the Super Bowl last year. I know the offense hasn't been too good this season, but I think they could flip that switch. Who was the crazy one? Me. And I don't know. I think they're pretty equal though, because when you look at the Phillies, they really didn't change much. As a matter of fact, I mean, in my opinion, I think the starting pitching may be a little worse right now. And
Lost
the only
Ranger
reason
Suarez.
you lost Ranger. Ranger is one of those guys that would take the ball in any type of situation. That's number one. Plus, he deals in big-time games. So you take that away from you. Aaron Nola, who knows what he's going to be? I guess an improvement would be around a 4.2 ERA. But that's not bad. That's not bad in the big leagues. I can handle that from Aaron Nola. I think the biggest question marks you have, though, is that Christopher Sanchez is now coming off of a season in which he went over 200 innings. How does he respond to that? Because obviously he's got to be your ace. Then you look at Zach Wheeler, you just don't know what you have because of that blood clot.
The injury.
Yep.
Yep, definitely. Audience question.
Uh-oh.
Biggest difference in pitching styles today versus your time as a pitcher in the big leagues?
I just think there's more throwers than there are pitchers. I think when I played, there were more pitchers rather than throwers. I mean, I would say the best pitcher in my era was probably Greg Maddux. He threw, 90, 91, 89 with good movement and good change of speeds. You don't see that as much anymore. As a matter of fact, Phillies got rid of their one guy that really did that all the time, and that was Ranger Suarez. So I just think it's that simple. I mean, you're either a thrower or you're a pitcher. I think there's a lot more throwers.
Before we get to our Fast Five, I want to remind everybody that even though you're not in Philadelphia, you could still listen to Unfiltered with Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo on
97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5 thefanatic.com, NBC Sports Philadelphia. You think I said that before?
How many times do you say that in one day? God. Every weekday, 2 to 6 p.m., you can listen online by going to their website, 975thefanatic.com, or just tell Alexa to play 97.5 The Fanatic. It's as simple as that. All right, Fast Five.
Go.
With former Phillies pitcher Ricky Bottalico, number one, funniest guy in the Phillies clubhouse while you played.
I'm not going to go Phillies. I'm going to go Mike Cameron of the New York Mets when I was with the Mets. He was one of those guys that even in your worst day could make you laugh. Or Edgar Renteria. That guy was a trip. I mean, he would literally, like, you throw a good pitch and the guy breaks his bat and he would just get the ball and look at you and go, that's a bleeping joke. Like, but in like Latin or Spanish.
In Spanish, yeah. Number two, hidden talent that people might not know about you.
Hidden talent, I'm going to say I'm a pretty good golfer.
All right.
I wouldn't say it's too hidden anymore.
All right. Number three, what baseball superstition did you have?
You know what's funny? People think I'm crazy, but my socks. I had to have the same socks every game, and I would mark them left and right. It's not funny.
Yes, it is.
Have you ever noticed, like, the big
same.
toe? The big toe, the sock sticks out more. So if you get the big toe one on the wrong foot, then you have the excess socks.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels funny.
Okay, if you say so. Now everybody, listen. Hey, but everybody's going to look tomorrow morning.
And I will say this much: I used to want to wear the same hat all year.
Ooh.
Oh, I went off one day. We were in August, and my hat was like pink. Because it fades, the red fades.
And smells.
And Frank Kopenbarger, our traveling guy, took it. And I was like, where's my hat? I was flipping out. Oh, it stunk. It stunk bad.
Number four, one word to describe Philly fans.
Nuts.
Number five, how many games do the Phillies win in 2026?
94.
94. Ricky, you said it all. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Give it up for the one and only Ricky Bottalico.